Hi, I'm Elinor Silverstein, and today I'm here with Linda Tellington-Jones, who had quite the
Mhm.
fall down an outdoor escalator 2.5 weeks ago. And she, aside from getting sliced up by the blades of the escalator, really broke the elbow out through the skin and had to have emergency surgery. But she also broke her shoulder in two different places. So the elbow is healing in a, Linda, what would you call this? It's not a brace, but a,
Well, it's just an open,
yeah,
um, it's like half a cast
half a cast to rest it
in
with a
the
sling.
sling, in the sling. Yeah.
The problem is the way that it was made. It's, oh my goodness, this is always an issue, was cutting into the hand so much that it was causing her hand to swell. So her hand wasn't swelling due to her own body not working well. It was due to the thing that was rescuing her elbow. And so she's now, this happened in LA. She is now back at home in Kona. It's 2.5 weeks later. And Linda, can you tell us, because you are making magnificent strides, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you've gotten so much better, and what are the upsides and the downsides that are happening right now?
Well, it's really fascinating. First of all, I'm just so totally blessed because it's my left arm, it's the elbow and the shoulder. It's going to be fine. It could have been any other part of my body that would have totally stopped me from functioning, but just doesn't. So my guardian angels were definitely with me. There's not a question about that. I pushing a cart with my luggage up the escalator at LAX, and it flipped and rolled me backwards. Anyway, everybody was wonderful. I can only tell you that all the emergency guys and the ambulance and the doctors and the nurses at Cedar Sinai and Marina Del Rey were like, if you ever have to go to a hospital, choose that one because they really care about having a healing atmosphere for their people. And that was the feeling that I got through the whole thing. So I have really, everybody's so amazed at how I'm doing, but I will tell you, when it first happened and I wound up, like, stopped the escalator, and I felt myself tumbling, thinking, when is this going to stop? It stopped the escalator, and when I did, I was sitting with my left side up against the wall and sitting, on a stair, and then my feet were down a couple of stairs below me, and some really kind person yelled and said, stop the escalator, because I don't know what would have happened if I kept tumbling. Anyway, so what's really interesting, they took fabulous care of me in the hospital. And I was on, I always forget which of the opioids for pain. Do you remember it, Elinor? Ah, anyway,
Yep.
I should have the bottle here to talk about it. But
It's
so
in
I
the
was on,
it's in the codeine family.
yeah, every 6 hours. And so it was really great. Now, one of the reasons we wanted to talk about this is the importance of paying attention to your own self-care, because one of the things that they said to me is that you have to have a bowel movement. It's necessary. So we had all kinds of stool softeners. Well, that was what it was, stool softeners. And I'm going to tell you this, so if you don't like to hear about bowel movements, plug your ears because it's really necessary for your health.
Yeah,
And
don't
so
plug
on,
your ears or don't plug your intestines. Go on.
right, right, right. So, so on the fifth day, still no bowel movement in spite of stool softeners. And and I'm getting a little desperate because I'm not feeling comfortable. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go back in the hospital. And then I am a horsewoman, and what I remembered is that when we had newborn foals that would start straining and obviously could not defecate, that we just put a glove on our hand, took some Vaseline, and went in, and you pulled out these little tiny, like hard balls, size of the thumbnail, and or even a little smaller. And so, folks, that's what I did. And if I hadn't known that from the horses, I don't know what would have. I would have been back in the hospital because I was already, having, I forget what you call it, when the herniation, of the that
Oh,
area,
hemorrhoid.
hemorrhoids.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I took care of that, thank heaven. And I have to say, Elinor lives only an hour south of LAX in the hospital, and Sandy Rakowitz drove 6 hours from the north to be with me, and Sage Lewis drove 6 hours from Arizona. And between the three of them, they were amazing at the way they took care of me. So we had a lot of fun. And I'm sure that the fact that I had no pain was due to the fact I talked to my body. I had that, just the simple one opioid, and I had the Beamer, and I was beaming like a lot, and I had gratitude. And I will tell you that I didn't have any fear because of the good feeling I had, and I was in such a place of thinking, thank heaven, thank you, my angels, thank God, that it's only my left arm. I'm right-handed. No, it could have been any other, pelvis, head, neck, a lot of stuff. Wasn't. So it's like, what's the message in it, right? Okay, Linda, you shouldn't have been traveling alone. I was going to do a big weekend training in South Carolina and North Carolina, and it's time to maybe do more of this stuff, sharing like we are with Zoom, and not quite so much traveling. So anyway, what I got home, and they told me at LAX, at the hospital, that I should wait 2 weeks, and then they would look at my shoulder. And so Dr. Chun, who's a wonderful whatever he is, I forget, bone guy,
Yeah, bone
bone
doctor.
bone specialist from Honolulu. He comes over to Hilo, and he looked at it 2 days ago, and he said, well, you can't do anything at this point, and it's it will just heal. So he gave me some exercises to do, and I start on Monday with an occupational therapist and a physical therapist then, and I'm really excited about doing that. But so thank you for all of the outpourings of T-Touch and heart hugs and energy and love that I had from around the world. It was like, I feel you all, and I got it. Thank you very much. And I want to send that out to all of the people who don't have this means of the World Wide Web and the Facebook, and feel that love and the outpourings of the prayer circles and what everybody was doing to help. So I thank you. And one of the things I do want to say, I mean, I really follow my intuition. And in a month ago, I had the absolute knowing I had to go when I was in Texas at a Beamer Managers Conference, because I'm a manager. I had to go and see Dr. David Fletcher. And he specializes in anti-aging, and he's amazing. And I was having this thing of vertigo, and I was like walking like Tippy Canoe kind of thing. I like, when I get up to go to the bathroom at night, I'd have to put my feet like apart. I couldn't walk in a straight line. Now, he changed all that by the simple exercises that he gave me. And also, he said I had rocks in my head. Because with aging, there's fine little hairs like get stiff, and then little like calcifications, crystals on the end of it drop off and roll around. And that makes you have vertigo. So there's an exercise, really simple, that you do to clear that, which I did. And these balance exercises, which Elinor, I want to show these one of these days, because
Yeah.
they've made a huge difference to me. In 3 weeks, I could stand stand with 1 foot ahead of the other on a straight line, looking in the distance with my eyes closed. And I couldn't do that for 3 seconds with my eyes open when he tested me in Tyler, Texas. Like, I forget the date of that, but about 2 months ago. So really, exercise pays off. And so now I feel totally stable. I don't need a cane at all. I don't need anything to get around. So I'm really good. So I wanted to make a call for the state of gratitude. I have a basic philosophy that's part of Tellington-TTOUCH philosophy, that it's a practice of choosing to see a half-empty glass as half full. And how do you do that? By gratitude, by being grateful for everything we can think of. And that made a huge difference to me. So, Elinor and Sandy and Sage and all of you out there who've been sending me these heart hugs and tea touches and Reiki and all of the healing prayer circles that you've had me in, I thank you. And I send heart hugs back to all of you. Oh, and one other thing. Oh, my hand. I can't bring it up to show you, but I'm going to have Elinor post a couple of pictures because my hand just blew up from the half cast cutting into my hand, and it looked like a big brown frog. It's terrible, and nothing was taking it away, the swelling away. But I used a very simple old remedy. It's a German. It's called an Umschlag, like it just wrap around. So all you do is I just took a really nice, beautiful, flowered, new dishcloth, Hawaiian, dipped it in ice water, wrung it out, wrapped it around my hand. Then I took saran wrap, I wrapped that so it keeps everything from getting wet and it keeps the moisture in. And then I just put a light ace wrap very loosely around it. And in the morning, it's like flat, 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 instead of being this big puffy thing. So
Well,
no,
you know
you
what,
can't
Linda?
take care of yourself.
I was going to say that's brilliant and amazing because it was not just puffy. It was so big that I thought if it got any bigger, it would explode open, meaning your whole hand. It just was so, the skin
Wasn't
was
pretty.
stretched to the max and it was
Yeah.
brown on the way to black. So it was causing, it would have caused damage. And to have seen the shriveled up skin, and the next morning it was completely
Yeah.
99.9% flat, and the skin was, you saw wrinkles on it because the skin had been so stretched to the absolute
Right.
max, and have that all go down when everything else we tried wasn't doing it, because the fact was physically the way that cast was digging in was causing that everything to
Yeah.
pool down there.
So I
So
have a new half cradle for it, but it's too long. So I have to put padding under it so it doesn't dig into me. So I still have a little way to go. And if anybody is an occupational therapist and wants to come to Hawaii and spend a couple of weeks with me, that would be lovely. Or a PT with T-Touch. Yes, that would be really lovely
that's
because
an
we don't
open
have enough people
invitation.
over here.
Yeah, Linda's got a
Call
great
me.
home. Everything is amazing. Woof. It's good for everybody, right?
Yep. Yep. Great. Love you guys. Eleanor, if you will post this for me on Facebook, I'd be so glad to let people know what's going on. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And I'll share it around.
I
And
will.
I'll send you the other pictures so you can put them up before and afters.
Okay.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay, send it right now. I'm going to be posting this soon.
Okay. Great.
I love you.
Heart hugs. Heart hugs to you all. And just join me in counting 3 blessings in your life and send that out to the universe. We need it. Aloha.
Aloha.
Mm.